And we are live.
We're good, guys. Welcome into a weekly recap done by NFR Podcast, a new segment we wanted to try for our live streams because we end up talking about a lot of relevant news. We also talk about a lot of things that are dropping at night. So why not put everything together into one live stream and actually get this going? So Young Thug's Punk. How many hours are we away? We're almost 2.5 hours away right now from another studio album from Young Thug. So how are you feeling, and are you hyped for tonight's stream?
I'm definitely excited, man, and it's crazy because the promotion has been so minimal for this album. There hasn't been too much. He just posted the album cover today. Besides that, we did get a lead single with TikTok. We did get those previews of the Givenchy show where he previewed, I think, 3 songs, one of them featuring Gunna and
even
Elton
the Tiny
John.
Des performance as well.
Yeah, and by the way, guys, if you're a fan of Young Thug and you're a fan of the stream, please smash the like button to help us get across to more Young Thug fans. And apart from that, we'll also be talking about Travis Scott's Dystopia. We'll be talking about new Drake music, new Lil Uzi Vert music, which apparently might drop this month. So there's going to be a lot of discussion on the stream. But speaking about Punk, did you see that video of Young Thug, Gunna, and other YSL artists beating the fuck out of that Rolls Royce? Did you see that?
No, I actually didn't. Why? There was.
I'll
show
pull
me
it
the
up
video
for you.
now.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. What were they doing? They were just smashing it with bats? What was going on?
Literally.
A beautiful Rolls Royce?
Rolls Royce, man. Just fucking putting it to shame, yeah.
That sucks, bro. That really does suck. That's one of the only handmade cars still to this day. It's just,
really?
It's beautiful, bro. That's let me see that. Oh no, bro.
Crazy, eh?
Why? No.
Yeah, man. They're just beating the fuck out of it.
I
don't know if that's the best album promo, but I'm still hyped for this album nonetheless.
Yeah, fuck, man. That sucks, though. You don't oh, that's tough, bro. A nice Rolls Royce like that. Tell me, would you beat up your car for an album
fuck
promo?
No, never.
Would you beat up your car for an album promo? I don't know. I don't think I would. But overall, how are you feeling about this, man? Especially with the rumored features now.
Yeah. By the way, guys, shout out to On Thin Ice because this information comes from them, and they have apparently the feature list for Punk. So I want to hear what you think about this.
Okay,
right?
let's keep this going.
So apparently the features for Punk are Drake.
Okay.
Future.
Yeah.
Jay-Z.
Okay.
Which is massive.
That's massive.
Gunna.
Yeah.
Nate Royce. T-Shine. Mac Miller. Elton John, and more. How do you guys feel? And guys, which of those features excites you the most? Let us know in the comments.
Oh, that's a good question. Which one excites me the most? I want to hear Mac Miller on this album. I want to hear how he's going to fit in. But if I'm talking about maybe one that I think isn't included is maybe Travis Scott, because I'm not sure if you saw what he posted on his IG story. It was this gift box set that I think Young Thug sent out to all the featured artists, and took a photo, and it ended up posting it on his story. It was this nice pink box, and it had some sort of correlation to do with an iPhone. So I guess, listen, maybe he's going to be on there. Either that, I want to hear Mac Miller. And Elton John, too. I would love to see that happening.
Yeah, because he remixed, I think it was Rocket Man on the EP On The Run, and that was really good. So Elton John and Young Thug, man.
Absolutely.
The unlikely duo that's going to fucking mesh for sure.
Absolutely. But let's actually get on to Saif. Thank you so much for starting up tonight's Super Chats. And by the way, guys, if you want your questions answered first by us, feel free to use the Super Chats. We're always going through that. So, One Song Before You Die. I like that. What are you saying, man? One song before you die.
That's so tough, man. One song.
I'm going Fear. Kendrick Lamar.
Fear, Kendrick Lamar?
I think that's one of my favorite, if not my favorite.
It's kind of a depressive note to end off with, don't you say?
No, because the whole song is about conquering your fear, so I don't want to die with anything at the end of the day.
Okay, if you approach it that way, that's pretty cool.
That's what I would do. How about you? What would you say?
One song. Probably Touch the Sky.
Oh,
Probably Touch the Sky.
That's a good song.
The uplifting energy that you have off of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the idea of literally touching the sky, hopefully your spirit ascending into heaven, that'd be a beautiful way to
maybe run me through life after death one more time too.
Oh yeah.
Or maybe something off of Ready to Die. So who knows? Yeah, but that was a good question. I like that for the Super Chats. But let's actually move on to the Phenom, excuse me. Wow, I can't believe I fucked that up.
Thank you so much for using the Super Chat.
Thank you so much for using the Super Chat tonight. And you said if Kanye were to do another collab album and was between a full-length 40-minute KSG 2 or Watch the Throne 2, which one would you be choosing? I'm doing Watch the Throne 2. I think that I have.
By
to
the
see
way,
it.
guys, this just might end up being a free smoke matchup of Kid C Goes versus Watch the Throne. So keep your eyes peeled for that.
Do we reveal it to them when we just recorded? Do we tell them for the people for the live stream?
I don't know.
Or do we tell them to be vigilant on Sunday? What do we say? Nick, okay, you make the call. Do we tell them or not?
Just be vigilant on Sunday, guys.
Okay, I
Be
like
vigilant
that.
on Sunday,
Be
guys. There's
vigilant
gonna be
on
a
Sunday.
premiere for the new Free Smoke, guys. It's gonna be awesome.
Okay, so we're not giving the matchup.
But
though.
for Kids See Ghost 2 or Watch the Throne 2, I feel like at this point, yes, Jay-Z and Kanye do have a lot in common in the fact that they're both fathers, they're both billionaires, but I think that they won't be able to come together for a thematic approach that makes sense. And if it's going to be more the same from what I heard from Jail, I just feel like sonically they're not heading
That's
in
true.
the same
You
direction.
could say that Kids See
So-
Ghost would be the safer bet because you got it more recently. You understand what they're working with, and there's a lot more room to improve, right? Because what was the runtime on that album? Only like 21 minutes, so still only 7 tracks. So there's a lot of material that we could go through. I love that question, and thank you for sending that through. Let's move on to Isaiah. Thank you so much for using the super chat tonight. Super generous of you. And you have 2 questions, so I'll put them into one. Thank you, by the way, for sending us 2 super chats. You said, again, love y'all. Love you, bro. Thank you.
Much
Another
love.
hot take. Harry Fraud is one of the most underrated producers in the game. That is not a hot take. That is a great take, in my opinion. Harry Fraud is absolutely fantastic. And I mean, the only, I think the one project I was disappointed from with Griselda was the Plugs I Met 2 this year. But Harry Fraud did a fantastic job on the production side of things. And I never really get bored of his production styles as well. Always abstract samples, always creating a, dreamy atmosphere. He has great chemistry with artists like, Currency and Mac, old Mac Miller, but even like, let's say Wiz Khalifa, like he fits into like that sort of trippy psychedelic vibe. So I'm a fan of Harry Fraud, but how
I'm
about
a
you?
huge fan of Harry Fraud, and I think that he is one of the most underrated producers in the game. His work with Currency has been amazing, and also like he can tap into the underground, but then he'll also produce for huge artists too. Like he has a production credit on Playboi Carti's self-titled. Like he literally can tackle any kind of aesthetic for any artist, and that's why I appreciate his music so much. So Harry Fraud slept on, man.
Okay, so
Really
let's move
slept on.
That is true. So let's move on to the next question. If you could pick one Kanye scrapped album / song to come out, what would it be and why? I'm gonna go with give me I would love to hear Cruel Winter. I think that,
Really?
I think because I ended up hearing Champions, like that was the lead single to that album, like it was supposed to come out in 2017, apparently so, and
That was a good song.
It was a great song, and I just
Fuck.
there was so many people that would have made that album, right? Like think about the amount like of great artists that you would have there, and seeing another label tape would have been fucking crazy to see. Like Cruel Summer is fantastic, so seeing the sequel would have been amazing. But how about you? One Kanye West.
Honestly, I don't know if they could capture the same magic that they did. Like I don't know if we'd get another Mercy, another I Don't Like. I don't know. It would be fire. I would be interested in hearing it, but for me, a scrapped Kanye album, I mean, Yandy, those leaks are fucking phenomenal, but I would have to go with Good Ass Job just because I feel like that trilogy of College Dropout, Late Registration, and Graduation is Kanye's best. And add a 4th installment, because of course Good Ass Job was going to follow right after Graduation. That would have been dope, and it would have played into the concept of like, he's graduated now he's getting a job. And it would have been cool to see him kind of tackle some more soul samples and really get into more of his lyrical bag. So that would have been my choice for sure.
That's a good choice. But let's actually move on to Colin. Thank you so much for using the super chat tonight. It's super generous of you. We appreciate it. And you said big fan of you, Colin. And you also said, do you guys think Utopia or any other project Travis Scott released in the next 5 years will be bigger than Astroworld? Very possible. And we're actually going to dive more into Dystopia and what like maybe the future holds for him later on in the segment. But I think that there's a very big chance that Travis Scott could actually, top himself again, because, I mean, he's at the top of his game right now. He's entering his prime. 2018 was massive, but maybe he could do it again. How about you? What do you think?
That's tough to say. Shout out to you, Colin, by the way, for the question. It's a good one. And I mean, the discography that Travis is building at this point, it's so hard to top one after the other, but he keeps fucking doing it. I mean, I think that Birds in the Trap wasn't a step up from Rodeo. And to this day, you could argue that Rodeo is his best. So in terms of topping Astroworld, it's possible just because Travis Scott is just creating a new universe with every album. And I feel like with this one, he might get more lyrical because of the concept of Utopia, because of the shit he's going to be tackling. So I think it's possible, especially if he follows that formula of having a Days Before Rodeo, having that mixtape or that lead-in project. It's gonna do well. It's gonna do fucking well.
There's some massive fucking room there. But next super chat, thank you so much to Smack. I appreciate you for using the super chat tonight. And you said Danny Brown or Earl sweatshirt. I'm going Danny Brown. I think off the bat, I'm going Danny Brown. How about you?
I'll take Danny Brown as well. I just think that vocally he does more. I think in terms of the experimental hip hop realm, his
Production
projects
choices
have been more impactful, I would say. And with Earl, I mean, he has great projects. I love Doris. I loved some rap songs, which a lot of people don't like. But I don't know. I feel like the delivery is a bit too monotone sometimes.
Yeah.
And I know that's kind of like, that's his thing, but...
Not your thing, though.
No, not really.
Okay, so...
Even Feet of Clay, not the best project.
Feet of Clay wasn't too good. So we're both going Danny Brown. Thank you so much to Smack for sending in a super chat. Let's move on to the Phenom again. Thank you again for sending in another super chat. And you said, if you could have one more album from Biggie or have Nas drop another Illmatic, what would you choose? I think I'm going Biggie. Very easily. I think I'm going Biggie. I want to hear what happens.
I have so much Nas material. I have these Nas classics, but with Biggie... dropped 2 masterpieces and unfortunately passed away. And that question, that what if of what Biggie's career could have been hadn't he not passed away at such an early age, that's a mindfuck for me because
that's true.
Those are 2 of the best albums of all time in the genre. So to see where he would have gone next, that would have been everything to me.
It would have been massive. But let's actually move on to Easton. Thank you so much for sending in a super chat. What's up, guys? Love this channel to death. Love you to death. Only thing getting me through a tough breakup. Wow.
Oh, man. I appreciate that, bro. Honestly, that's...
Listen, man. Don't let anyone put you in a bad mood, bro. You do your thing. New beginnings. A new opportunity, as I like to say with any breakup. So,
fish in the sea kind of vibe.
There's always whatever. I'm not gonna get into it, but let's answer your question. How you guys feel about the new Mac Miller album tonight? So, it's actually not new. Faces was released in the 2010 decade. It's 2015.
2014.
Right? 2014. My bad. I don't want to fuck up. But anyways, one of my favorite mixtapes and projects from Mac Miller. Probably top 3. If I have to go my favorite tracks, I'm going Diablo. I'm going New Faces. I'll probably do Uber, Rain as well. I have so many. Great. Here we go. There's just so many great.
And there's also a documentary, guys. At 10:30 is premiering on Mac Miller's YouTube channel, and I'm gonna be bumping this project so much as I already have been doing on that Piff. But to have it now on streaming platforms is massive, and it's one of the many mixtapes that we need on streaming platforms. And the fact that apparently Diablo got cleared. That's huge,
That's
bro.
massive.
Because that sample, it's a John Coltrane sample,
I believe it's a Supreme Love, if I'm not mistaken.
So,
I'm going to go get that, actually. A Sentimental Mood, actually.
So, that takes a lot to get a sample like that cleared. So, I'm really happy we'll have access to that. And, long live Mac Miller.
Hold on. Let me find this sample. This is one of the, oh, my goodness. I'm so happy I have this. No, it's not a Love Supreme. It's in my jazz playlist. I have it. I swear to God I have it. I got to find it for you guys. In a Sentimental Mood. Duke Ellington and John Coltrane. Yeah, I'm not sure if you guys could hear it through the mic.
Beautiful. Stuff.
You guys probably just busted your ears, but nonetheless, I mean, I'm super down for the project. I'm down to have it on streaming services. I've been bumping it heavily, so it'll definitely be in my rotation. But let's actually get into Young Thug's Punk. So, what are your predictions, man? What do you think is going to happen with this project, and what are you expecting tonight out of Thug?
I think whenever an artist does such minimal promotion, it's either a really bad sign or a really good sign. And I think it's going to be a good sign with this one because he's going to make all the music do the talking. Of course, a lot of people are going to be coming in because of the big feature names, but the way that Young Thug is tackling this, the fact that he took 2 years, I feel like we'll get his most introspective, project to date. I feel like he'll get super personal. And not only that, but I love the fact that it won't just be another So Much Fun. It won't just be trap bangers, which Thug executes on a high level all the time, but to see him actually get back into that singer-songwriter kind of vibe, him tackling different subgenres, this has potential to be a top 3 Thug project.
It does, and this is what I was saying on a previous video that we did not too long ago. I believe it was this week where we were talking about if this could potentially be the best, album of his career, and I genuinely do think so. Especially with how he's been teasing the album, it seems like it's high art, right? Having a preview of these fashion shows, and having the Tiny Desk, performances. Even TikTok for me was a great song. I was a massive fan of that, but I really want to hear Young Thug's rapping on this.
The cover's whack though, guys.
Yeah, you didn't fuck with the cover?
If you haven't seen it, guys, this is it.
Yeah,
I don't know if you could see through the shots, but
yeah, I don't know.
This is
man.
really it reminded me of the Quavo Huncho cover where you have his face and there's different things going on through the transparent face. It's really awkward, and 2021 has been a shitty year for album covers, bro. Think about this one. Think about Culture 3. Think about Hall of Fame.
Honestly, I'm a fan of it. I think I'm the only guy that likes this album cover. I think it's original. And especially that, I can't remember the painting and it's inspired by, but it's definitely a good album cover.
By the way, on Thin Ice, Connor's telling us that apparently Diablo did not get cleared. So my bad for saying that. I guess I was mistaken, but that sucks. That sucks that it didn't get cleared because that's easily one of the favorites off of Faces.
Yeah. So, talking about Punk now, looking at the features, who do you think is going to be featured on this? Like, what are your guesses for all this?
Well, we have a lot confirmed, apparently confirmed. Who else do I think is going to make the mix?
Because apparently there's more. So, what do you think's going on now?
I don't know. I mean, he has literally almost anyone that you could want on the project. Someone else that could be a good addition. Another Young Doll feature I'd be in for. But again, that kind of leans more towards the trap side, which I kind of want less of on this album. But who would you have in mind?
I'd really love to see Kendrick and Young Thug link up one day. I'd love to see what they're able to come up with and how they're going to be able to do it. Even Baby Keem.
Fire.
I think Baby Keem could be a nice addition to here, but especially the way that maybe he's able to ride like psychedelic trap sometimes, and even gets into more rock influenced heavy tracks. So maybe something that we could see from Punk. But let's actually shout out Ethan. Thank you so much for using the super chat tonight. And you asked if you could make an album but only have 5 features and 5 producers, which ones and why? That's really good. Okay, so 5 features.
5 features? Wait. Whose album is it though? Okay, or is it just
5 different people and 5 different producers?
Interesting. Any album and 5 features. That's
okay,
really
5.
Good.
Okay, so let's.
Okay. What kind of vibe is the project? That's what we have to figure out first.
I want to go more like maybe some psychedelic route. Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe
so you got to have Travis in there.
I'll do Travis.
Rocky.
I'll do Rocky.
Danny Brown.
I'll do Danny Brown. I'll do Flatbush Zombies as well.
Rockhampton, maybe.
I wanted to say maybe Andre 3K or Kid Cudi.
Okay.
I wanted to say either one of them, but I'll do Kid Cudi because I think it's more likely to happen. As far as producers go, maybe The Alchemist. I'll do Harry Fraud as well.
Really? For that trippy kind of vibe?
Yeah,
okay.
Eric Arc Elliott as well from Flatbush Zombies. He's fantastic with Tripped Out production. Travis Scott, of course. Maybe producing there. Kid Cudi could have some productions. DJ Dahi sometimes, make some really nice soundscapes. Who else could really do it like that? Mike Dean. How the fuck did I forget Mike Dean with some, trippy fucking synths going on? But how about you? What would be your 5?
My 5. I'm going to take the approach of like just having an album that's a lyrical masterclass, something that maybe pays homage to, let's say, some East Coast 90s with some boom bap type beats. So my producers would have to be DJ Premier. After that, give me The Alchemist. Give me Derringer as well. Okay, those 3 producers. Who else do I want to throw into the mix? Give me RZA. That's 4. And Kanye West. Those would be my 5 producers.
That's 5.
And the 5 artists on there would have to be Kendrick, Jid. Give me Black Thought. Give me...
Oh, so a lyrical onslaught.
Yeah, that's kind of
Throwing
what I'm
Mos
going
Def
for.
in there. Throwing some Mos Def in there.
Wait, who do I got? I got Kendrick. I got Jid. Give me Hove. Give me Black Thought. And the 5th one would have to be...
Take Mos Def, bro. I'm telling you, take him. He would do so well on this.
I don't know if he fit the vibe.
Absolutely he would. Take Mos Def, bro. I'm telling you, that's that missing link. Like that strong, like that pure, strong lyrics.
I'll take Benny the Butcher. I'll put in a Griselda boy in there. Put in a Griselda boy.
No, but I get the vibe. I understand what you're going for. Maybe more of a lyrical album. But thank you for the super chat. We appreciate it. And by the way, guys, if you are enjoying this stream, smash the like button. It helps us get to so many more people. And if you are new to the stream, please subscribe. And as I mentioned at the beginning, if you guys want your questions answered first, use the super chat.
Also, guys, we will be reviewing Young Thug's Punk as soon as it comes out. So a first listen review, as we always do. So stay tuned for that. Coming sometime in the middle of the night, probably, or tomorrow morning.
By the time it renders and everything, we'll get it through. But let's actually go on to C-Dub Super Chat. Thank you so much for using it tonight. And you said Young Thug, Joey Badass, and J. Cole. Who's the best? I think Cole gets it for me here. Between Cole and Joey, I think those are my 2 favorite artists out of this list.
I mean, yeah. I think that out of the 3, the artist who seemingly has stepped out of his comfort zone the most, for me at least, would have to be Young Thug.
I
think in that way, I do like the diversity in sounds, and especially, I think after Punk, he will be certified as one of the most diverse trap artists of all time. But in terms of who's overall the best, yeah, it's J. Cole.
You think it's J. Cole?
It's definitely J. Cole. He has the volume of projects, he has the impact, and he's probably the best. Is he the best lyricist? Is he a better lyricist than Joey? I don't know. Probably, but it's close. It's close.
Oh. I'm not sure. That's a very good question, but I would probably say I think. Okay, does J. Cole have a 1999? Does any of his projects go on to 1999 level? 1999 is like on a serious level, bro.
Yeah, that's honestly, that might be like the best like 90s rap album in modern day, like the best homage to that 90s boom bap sound.
The best I've ever heard it done, for sure.
Yeah, man. So
like people were freaking out off of it, but whatever. We'll leave that discussion for another day.
Tough.
But yeah, that's a great question actually. But let's move on. Let's just move into Young Thug's Punk just to wrap it up. I think that there's a lot of different things circulating it, but my final predictions for the album, I think it's gonna be a great project. I'm really looking forward to it, and I think I'm super down to do this review because it's gonna be so nice, bro. Like you get to just go in there, bro. You get to vibe out with Young Thug. Also, like now it's the first time I might need a Genius screen next to me going through a Young Thug album because he's putting in fucking writing and lyricism in here. So I'm super down for it.
If Ho's on the album, he's got to keep up, bro. Like,
absolutely.
He has no fucking choice. I'm sorry. So I'm super hyped for the album as well. My expectations are not going to be too high just because I can't do that to myself because so many albums have disappointed me this year. But overall, it has been a great year for hip hop, and I do think that Thug is going to have one of the best projects of his career. So we'll have to see.
Shout out to Sun, by the way, for sending in another super chat. We really appreciate it. And you said, would you rather X and Joey or Cardi and Kanye?
X and Joey.
X and Joey.
So easily.
Yeah,
Infinity 888 is just...
That's stupid.
That's mind-blowing. The flow switches that X had on there.
It's not only that, but the production choice was so nice. Like, it just shows like what type of diversity X has as an artist.
Is that one of the best songs of the 2010s? Is that like in the top 50 list, you say? For me, it probably is.
Oh, you really think so?
Lyrically, it's on another fucking level, and it's just that chemistry is so. It's such it's a very odd pair between the two of them.
But it works though.
But it worked out of nowhere. So
it really does.
And they apparently had a collab album in the works too. So.
Oh, On Thin Ice just dropped something massive in the comments. Pierre just announced TM88 collab album in November. That should be really nice.
I hope it's not just instrumentals.
Yeah.
I hope there are some artists on
the Life of Pierre 5 was actually fire. If you guys want to see that, it's on our Patreon plan. But going back to Young Thug's Punk, I think it's going to be great. But what do we move into? You want to talk about New Drizzy? You want to talk about Dystopia, Cardi? What else do we move into now?
We can talk about some Drizzy since he's featured on Punk as well.
So featured on Punk apparently, and Academics has come out and said that he does think, and listen, he's usually right with all the Drake updates. Well, I mean, he
called it for Scary Hours too, right?
But I mean, he did fuck up with the April date. I think that was a bit odd, but
inconsistent with his shit.
But listen, if we could expect it, how would you like it, and what are you looking for from New Drizzy music that you didn't get, let's say, on CLB?
That's interesting. I think that a big portion of what I wanted was what I got the whole year before CLB came out, was those insane verses from Drizzy on songs like Scene Green, on songs like Lemon Pepper Freestyle, where he's actually crazy with the wordplay. He's actually getting into the super introspective bag. And besides Champagne Poetry and a few other songs on CLB, you didn't get that. So if we can get an EP or something of that sort from Drake, that would be really dope. I think OVO Mark said on a live that there wouldn't be a deluxe to CLB, so we can kind of rule that out of the question. But I think what we'll get at the most, to be honest, by the end of the year is a new song. You think so? I think we'll get a Lucy or something. Maybe the Benny the Butcher song.
Oh, but that should have made it, though. That should have really...
You think it would have fit the vibe?
I think it would have fit the vibe. But this is my thing, though, is that if you take like songs like BB King Freestyle, you take songs like Scene Green, Lemon Pepper, and you would have slotted them on CLB with songs like Fair Trade, like Bridal Path. It was 7 a.m. on Bridal Path, correct? Mm-hmm. Okay, and then after that, even songs like, let's say, Champagne Poetry, Pappy's Home, like, that would have been a great fucking effort. Like, those three songs would have shaped that whole tempo of the album, and they would have fit. They would have actually fit on the album. So, I don't know. We'll have to end up seeing what happens, but I'm talking about...
Do you need it, though? Do you need that new music from Drizzy at this point? You're chilling?
I have a lot of material, man. I do. I have a lot of material.
But it's just funny that like I'm bumping those Lucy's way more than I'm bumping CLB.
That is true. I mean? I'm bumping Dark Lane demo tapes more than I'm bumping CLB.
Bro, that shit was underrated for its time.
But that's what I'm saying is like, I don't know where he would even go with it. Like, what does he release? Does he release R&B cuts or does he release like lyrical stuff?
It's a big question. Like, this is something I was even thinking about doing a video on. Is like, what's next for him career wise? Like, I get it. He's still breaking these records by putting out the same formula, by putting out the mix of R&B, of dancehall, of trap, of lyrical conscious rap. But like, now what? You know what I mean? Like, I've gotten that for a lot of projects. I don't want that again. I want a focused Drake album, and I'll wait fucking 3 years if I need to.
Okay, so
you know
what
I mean?
do you mean by a focused Drake album though?
Like one cohesive sound.
Like, okay, one
which
cohesive...
he'll never do.
I don't think he's ever done it though.
Maybe he'll do it for a mixtape. Mind you, I feel like Dark Lane demo tapes was like very close to coming to that because you had that lo-fi kind of sound with the slower tempo production.
I know, but you also had like R&B.
I know,
like
you had like the Chris Brown
and
song
like Not
and
You
shit.
Too, and even Desires was low key like had a bit of an R&B element into it. So I mean,
Bro, people were clowning us last time for saying D4L was a miss. Like, people fucking love that song.
No, guys, come on. I'm gonna clown you guys. D4L is a miss, bro. Stop that.
We're gonna see the comments getting heated right now.
Absolutely,
But
let it rain, bro. I'm all worried. That song is definitely a miss, and I'm a fan of all three of those artists.
it's just weird that, like, to me, Drake and Future, great duo. Drake and Thugger, great fucking duo. The three of them, disaster. Just fucking disaster,
You
bro.
think it's not working?
Way too sexy. Was not sexy.
Guys, let me know in the comment sections how you guys like Way Too Sexy. Let's do a general consensus in here. Do you guys fuck with it, or do you guys not fuck with it? I want to hear what you guys got to say about it, because to be honest with you, I'll never see myself like rebumping that. I gotta say, like, that's really not my shit. But how about you? Like, what do you like? Why do you think they chose a single like that when they've had, other singles that have been so well put together and have had, such great quality of music?
It's like the male version of WAP. Like, I don't remember who said that, but like someone would kind of make commentary on that and said how it was the male version of that. You know what I mean? A song about being ridiculous about your sexuality and a bunch of other shit. And obviously, it went crazy on TikTok, which was a big factor. But yeah, they knew it'd be a massive hit, and it was. So nothing else to it.
Yeah, there was that sort of market success with it. So if he was to drop something, what would you prefer? Would you prefer a lyrical cut, or would you prefer an R&B cut based on what you got on CLB?
Well, CLB was primarily R&B songs. I think 11 out of the 21 were R&B shit. So definitely the lyrical side of stuff, because I think right now in Drake's career, based on the R&B songs that I got and the lyrical songs that I got, he is more in form on the lyrical shit right now in his career. His pen game has only matured and evolved, and that's where his strengths really, really lie for me right now.
I don't know. I'm not sure though. I don't know how to feel about it. Yeah, a lot of people are saying that
D4L is fire. Everyone's saying fire.
Way Too Sexy is fire too. Okay, you guys are entitled to those opinions for sure. I'm really not a fan of it. L take unsubscribed. I fuck with that. Yeah, you see, absolutely. People get so cheesed when you don't fuck with their favorite songs. But going back to this whole Drizzy situation, why do you think he feels the need to be, put new music out now? He just delivered an album. He's had great feature runs in the past. He delivered in 2020. Like, what do you think's gonna happen overall?
I don't know, man. I just feel like he wants to keep us eating, and that's one thing that I do appreciate Drake for, is the consistency of the output. Like, he's just always putting shit out, and that's why he stays at the top of the hill. You know what I mean? That's why he's number one. So even if we don't get something by the end of 2021, I think we will get an EP or a mixtape or something next year. So we'll have that to look forward to. But thank you to Ethan for sending in a $2 super chat. We really appreciate it. And Ethan says, do you think a Drake and Travis album would be any good? What are you saying?
Yeah, I think I could see it happening. Depends like where Drake goes though. I think that's it, because where's Travis gonna go?
I want you to rank Company. I want you to rank Sicko Mode and Fair Trade.
Fair Trade first, Company second.
What? Okay,
and then after that, Sicko Mode third. Actually, no, Sicko Mode second. I'll put Fair Trade in back of Sicko Mode. I'll go Fair Trade first.
I think that like Fair Trade is one of my favorite songs of the year, but it probably comes in dead last for me.
You think so?
I love Company. I'm probably putting Company number 1 and Sicko Mode number 2, because that first moment of hearing Sicko Mode, like, yes, it got overplayed, but the beat switches.
That's what it is for me. Like I think that I got to.
Yeah,
like,
you got sick of it, eh?
Yeah, over to like. If you have to give me like choose one, delete the rest, what are you picking?
Oof.
Choose one.
See, it would have been Sicko Mode based on a first listen experience, but now that I've heard it too much, I would delete that one.
Yeah, you get rid of it.
But right now, I probably choose Fair Trade right now just because it's so heavy in my rotation.
I think that I'm going Fair Trade too. I believe me. I think that it's probably the best song.
But I feel like maybe as good of a song as it is, as much as they both performed, chemistry wise, it's like it felt like two different parts of a whole. You know what I mean? Where the other two songs, their sounds kind of came together a bit better. But
well, I think what was interesting about Sicko Mode was all the beat switches. I think that's why everyone like kind of gravitated towards it for was how shocking it was. And obviously Academics' reaction put that into a whole different level, where he starts going absolutely crazy. But even the fact that it was a surprise feature, right? Because you don't know until you're going into the album. And I remember the first time listening to Drake like coming in, I'm like, oh fuck, this is about to be crazy. And believe me, I fucked with it for a couple of months, but just got way too heavy, and then the song got memed at a certain
I
point
know.
too. So it was kind of like, fuck, all that great production and work done by two artists just get memed, but
Yeah.
they made their bag
But
off of it for sure.
speaking of Travis Scott, man, let's dive into Dystopia and all the news that has broken out about this project. Thanks to On Thin Ice and thanks to Donda's Place, who kind of broke the news out at the beginning. And it's crazy to see how much I fucking missed. Like, I'm pissed at myself for looking at that ID magazine cover and not actually realizing that it said like that. I think it was Utopia and Dystopia issue. Like, and then he's talking about Dystopia and Utopia. He's talking about how we're currently in a dystopia where, you know, communication lines aren't really smooth between humans, and how things are kind of going sideways. So, do you think this is actually happening? I want to start off like that.
What day are we today? We're the 14th. He has a couple more weeks to do it, but do I think it's happening? Probably not. I'm not sure at this point. Like, it would probably end up being a surprise drop. Do you think? What do you think he does? Do you think he surprise drops it, or do you think he does a mini rollout for a mixtape?
I don't think he needs a rollout.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. I think that he'll drop you. I think that if he drops Dystopia, maybe a couple of days before, he'll start teasing maybe snippets or something on his stories or some shit. But I don't think the promotion will be too crazy. And then I think we'll get the movie with A24 in between Dystopia and Utopia. I think that's the way that it's going to kind of go down.
I think that's a good prediction. By the way, guys, smash that like button if you have been enjoying the stream so far. Not only that, but if you guys do want to use the super chat, it's always open to you guys, and we'll answer your questions. So, yeah, going back on Dystopia, I think that it's always a great fucking time to get hyped for a Travis project. Like, been teasing Utopia, and there's that possibility that he might want to give you a little bit of a warm-up season to be able to get into his new album. So, would you rather get Utopia first, or would you rather have Dystopia get
easily
into
Dystopia? I mean, think about like how great it was to have Days before Rodeo came out. Like, it's just such a clever way to get a project even more anticipated, and it's similar in a way to a strategy that Drake's used for so many years. I mean, the difference with Drake is that like thematically they haven't kind of connected. Like, for example, More Life to Scorpion or Dark Lane to Certified Lover Boy. But with Travis, like, it's all part of the bigger whole. It's all part of the bigger picture. And to see two sides of a different coin, to see the madness in Dystopia versus the peace and serenity that I think will be showcased in Utopia, like, fuck yeah, I'm all the way in for that.
Do you think he uses it for Astrofest as well? That could be a big possibility. Like, Astrofest is creeping around the corner. Do you think that that's maybe going to push him to drop the mixtape before?
100%,
Because
yeah,
think about it, you would want to feature that music in front of all kinds of people. So that would probably have to be the best case scenario with him, is that he drops in the next couple of weeks and just absolutely shreds it at Astrofest where everyone could hear it live. But let's actually move on to Ethan. Thank you so much for using the super chat. And you said, would you rather have a Drake and Ross album or a new Drake and Wayne album? Drake and Wayne. I'm going Drake and Wayne off the bat, I think, for me. But BB King Freestyle or Lemon Pepper? Oh, that's a tough one. Tell me BB King, bro. Come on.
BB King for sure.
Okay, there we go.
It's tough, though. It's definitely tough. And I will say this. I think Lil Wayne performed on BB King, but I prefer Ross's verse on Lemon Pepper over Wayne's verse on BB King. And interestingly enough, Drake carried both of those songs for me.
Drake carried both of those songs?
Both of those songs for me.
Okay, I could see why Lemon Pepper because of the runtime on Drake's verse, but I'm not sure, bro. Wayne has a crazy fucking ending to that song. Like, it's really well done. And not only that, but I think the production on both those songs do so well. Like,
man, like
Boy Wonder's production
the way Drake
on BB
comes
King
in,
Freestyle.
though, like talking about keeping the lights open in the Universal buildings. Like, that's the cocky energy that I just love from Drake, and he was really in his bag on that one. So, definitely the Drake and Wayne album for sure, just because we've been needing that album like since fucking 2011. We've been wanting that album after getting Hell Yeah fucking Right, after getting The Motto, after getting their legendary collabs like BB King, which is gonna be one of my favorites of all time at a certain point. Like She Will. I mean,
I haven't put that song down, bro, not once. By the way, guys, let me know in the comment sections, BB King Freestyle or Lemon Pepper Freestyle. Ethan, this is a great super chat. Thank you so much for sending this in, sparking debates and conversations in the comment section. So let's keep going with this. Let's talk about how his reception has been with Astroworld, because a lot of people are already regarding it as a classic, and the question now becomes, do you think he does it again, not only with Dystopia, but maybe with this whole new era? Because it seems like there's new branding, there's new collaboration deals, new sounds that might be coming out of it. So what's your take on that? Like, what are you saying about, just the overall vibe Travis is in right now?
It's interesting just because like Travis has the whole hip hop community and music community for the most part, in the palm of his hand. Like everybody has their eyes on Travis, and it's an enormous amount of pressure for him to live up to Astroworld just because of what that represented for its time, the way that he had this crazy merch bundle, the way that he had the marketing, just planned out to a T with those inflatable Astroworld heads, all the way up to the fact that, the tour was so cinematic and the documentary that came with it. Like, I think that it's a huge moment to replicate, but if someone could top it, it would be him. And I'm really now stuck and hell-bent on this idea of having that dystopia before the utopia, because to me, I feel like Dystopia could have a much darker sound that's much gloomier, and then Utopia could kind of have a harmonica like you would have heard on Stop Trying to Be God, something that makes it sound sunnier and lighter. Like, if there's a contrast, not only thematically, but sonically too, in what we're hearing, like, this could be one of the best sagas that we've ever gotten in music, to me.
You really think it could be that big? It
could be that good. I mean, think about what other lead-in projects have been so phenomenal. Like, I can't even think of any off the top of my head.
DBR. I think DBR.
Exactly. Going back to Travis.
Absolutely.
Like, what other artist thinks of, like, let me actually make a saga out of my projects. Let me make worthy sequels, quote unquote.
Would you consider, if you're reading this too late, a warm-up to the views?
Yes, but, like, they're not... They're so far apart from each other.
But like back in 2014, Drake was previewing Views from the Six before, if you're reading this, it's too late. And then February comes along in 2015, and then he surprise drops the mixtape. So what do you think about that?
Days Before he did a better job at that. I like encapsulating that sound and previewing what
I know, but the whole thing with If You're Reading This, It's Too Late, that was so important because it started getting Drake's fan base accustomed to that Toronto sound that he was trying to, promote, and that he was trying to promote through his content matters. So
true, that's a good point.
Like that's why I think that it was a great warm up for Views, is because that transition maybe wouldn't have gone as smooth as people would have thought from Nothing Was the Same all the way to Views. Like, If You're Reading This, It's Too Late was that perfect, like, middle ground to, still having, like, that classic Drizzy sound, but also starting to dive into more newer areas and newer sounds.
I agree with you, but I still think that what Travis did by introducing that psychedelic trap sound on Days Before with songs like Drugs You Should Try It to build into Rodeo and how grand that production was and how lively it was, like, to me, that was a better lead-in for me personally.
Okay, so next up, we have Big Uzi Vert. Thank you so much for using the super chat tonight. It is much appreciated. And you said favorite Travis project and favorite songs from it. Okay, so I'm a Rodeo fan. I'm a massive Rodeo fan, and I think my favorite songs from it, Oh My This Side. I'm also going 90210. I would probably also do Maria, I'm Drunk. What else would I would do on here? Ooh, what else do you sing from Rodeo? Like, what would you say is like your top three? I think that's my top three, I think.
90210. I think Wasted is really underrated. Not a top three song.
Piss on Your Grave is fire for me,
Piss on Your Grave is really good,
I'm a big fan of that track.
90210 is easily the best for me.
Yeah, I think
that's night and day. But my favorite Travis project, honestly, I keep going back and forth between Rodeo and Astroworld. Like, at one point, you remember, I kind of put Astroworld above it. Now I've been listening to his discography again. Now I have Rodeo above it. Like, it kind of just changes time after time for me just because of how much I love both.
What are the factors between that, though? Like, what are you looking at when you're saying, like, comparing Astroworld and Rodeo? Like, what makes one better than the other?
I think Rodeo really encapsulated that sound of, like, I'm redefining trap music. Like, this has not been done before.
That's facts.
I'm recreating what the landscape of the sound. And Astroworld is kind of building on that, but also giving you a sonic experience on another level. Like, Rodeo was kind of more lyrical focused, and Astroworld is kind of where, like, Travis said, let me build atmosphere now. Let me really get into the sonics. And
so do you I'll put it like this. Do you think the soundscape on Astroworld was better calculated than Rodeo?
I don't know. That's so tough, bro.
Because, like, even if you go through it, like, Astroworld has that sort of, like, coherence to it where you're going from start to finish. Like, trust me, I'm a bigger fan of Rodeo, but I think Astroworld did that perfectly. Like, Stargaze, Stop Trying to Be God, Astro Thunder, Houston Fornication, like,
so you think the production's superior on Astro?
Yes, I'll give it that. But I think
I don't know, it's tough though.
I think it's superior in quality, but I think Rodeo's production styles and the types of things he was tackling were too revolutionary for its time. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, he kind of did what he did on Astroworld with Rodeo, but it was more of an upgraded version, if you get me. So it's kind of like, what do you prefer? Do you prefer, like, the first installment, that first time hearing that sound, or do you prefer the upgraded version with maybe a nicer atmosphere and better engineering? Because that's the other thing. I think that Astroworld has better engineering. That's just my take on it. What do you feel?
I would agree on that. It is a cleaner mix for sure. It's tough to say though. I mean, I'm looking at, like, let's say if you look at the biggest trap banger on Rodeo being Nightcrawler for me personally, I don't know if there's a beat in terms of a trap bass beat on Astral that hits as hard. Like, what are you gonna put, like NC-17? You know what I mean? So there's that component too, but I don't know. Both two of the best produced projects for me of the 2010s, without a doubt. And yeah, I hope this comes out. I hope Dystopia is a real fucking thing, because it seems like it's speculation, but there are hints towards it. But I just hope it happens, bro. I really do.
And the thing is that at this point, it's kind of like, when do you expect it to come out? Like, if you had to give your date, do you think it comes out at any time? So, turning the
tables, hit us up.
I know, and he didn't hit me up with a nice message. I know, bro. 5-1 to the Sabres. That was tonight. Montreal lost, and whatever. Beginning of the season, I'll say it. We'll talk midway through the season. You could always DM me, and we'll have a conversation there. But shout out to turning the tables.
Yeah, I believe Connor and Kevin are from Vancouver, so I'm guessing they're
Canucks fans. Well, I feel bad for you, then, brother. Come on, you've never seen your team put up a cup, bro. That sucks. That's horrible, bro. You guys have gotten close, but never.
Who's in nets now for Montreal?
It's Jake Allen, because Price is out.
Is he any good?
Yes, actually, he's a great goaltender.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes,
well, he let in 5 goals, though. So
no, it was Beauvillier playing tonight.
Oh, okay.
He was a new goalie that we picked up.
Right.
But anyway, so going back to hip hop, I'll talk about hockey at another point, because I always got the Habs cap on. Listen, let's talk about the ping tape. This is such an interesting situation now, because it sounds like Uzi's actually going to be making a 2021 return. So do you think it's dropping? I'll ask you that first. And what do you think it sounds like? Because that's what I'm interested in, is like, how is he going to finally steer away? Because he did say that it would be much more experimental than Eternal Take, but kind of experimented with Eternal Take. So where is it going to go now? You know?
I don't know, because I think he did preview some snippets at Rolling Loud. I haven't heard them. Have you?
I've never.
Okay,
I haven't heard them.
Yeah, he's saying it's going to be more experimental. He's saying that he wants to outdo Eternal Take because he wasn't happy with that project. But honestly, I have no fucking idea where he's going to go with the sound. Like, I really don't know. What does experimental even mean for Uzi? I mean, I don't know. I really don't know.
People were also talking about, people were talking about on Twitter, Uzi, it was cool and he didn't give a fuck and he had that whole demonic vibe, and he's like, I'm back with that now. So it's like,
did he say he's bringing back like 2016 Uzi or something?
Yeah, like that, but that was kind of the context behind it. So he's bringing back 2016 Uzi, but he's changing up his sound now because he wasn't happy with Eternal Take, and he's trying to give people a fresh new perspective. It's going to be a very interesting approach to it. Plus, apparently, it might actually be a SoundCloud exclusive. How do you feel about that? Like, what's on your mind, like, when you hear about that?
Well,
like,
I mean, Uzi does have a reputation for putting something out on SoundCloud and it fucking exploding. I mean, Exo Tour Life was premiered on SoundCloud, and then that shit went viral, and he's like, fuck it. Let me put it out on streaming platforms. And we all know what Exo Tour Life meant to Uzi's career. So it's going to be interesting. He said it's coming before Halloween. He said in a few weeks. So my guess were to be if he's actually saying the truth about this coming before Halloween, then Pink Tape drops the 29th.
Pink Tape drops the 29th.
If he's going to stick to his word, which I don't think he is. Personally, I don't think so.
But if it's a mixtape, though, it should probably be easier to release, though, right? Like, instead of a studio album, like, maybe the sample clearances are going to be better for him. Like, maybe, who knows? Because there might, like, who even features on this album? Like, who do you think has good chemistry with Uzi at this point?
Cardi.
Yeah, you'd like
Uzi and Cardi, for sure.
Even after, like, maybe their sounds have steered away so much? Like, they do two very different things. Like, that's what I'm trying to say. It's just, like, you kind of have Uzi that's more in, like, that lighter, more, like, upbeat, like, hyperpop sort of thing. And then you have, obviously, like, whole lot of Red that's just, like, almost screamo to a certain point.
But he also goes into that hyperpop as well.
Yes, he does. He does tackle it. But even at that, like, the coherentness of both those projects kind of left me wondering.
Cash
like,
Cardi isn't dead though. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't think he'll ever.
Just because he's tackling different aesthetics doesn't mean he'll come back to that. Why not?
Cash Cardi. Like, why though? He's done it before. Like, I think that's when he knows.
And he's done the whole fucking Vap shit before with the screamo and the baby voice. Like, he's done a bunch of shit. You know what I mean? So he has all that in his arsenal. Why not bring it back for certain songs? You know what I mean?
I think it would be cool. Do you think they could still perform up to that level of, let's say, like,
woke up like this?
Yeah. Do you think that could still be a thing?
No.
You don't think so?
But it's cool to see them back together again. Like, I think Uzi was spotted wearing like some Narcissist merch, so I hope that actually.
Do you think that this is going to be a similar situation like Narcissist? How do you feel about that?
No, I think Uzi is a man of his word, and I think that he will be delivering a project. It's just a matter of when. Like, I don't think that it's coming in October. Personally,
you don't think it's coming in October?
No.
I'd have to see though. But listen, guys, if you are enjoying the stream, smash the like button. It helps us reach new hip hop.
We're probably
fans.
gonna go on for another 10 minutes or so, guys.
See what's up. And by the way, we're actually doing a crazy review tonight. Loot's new album, and we're actually gonna be dropping on our Patreon plan this weekend. So if you guys want to have access to that, links are in the description.
Yeah, and it's pretty cool because we do a bonus episode every week that you guys vote on. So you kind of put in different options in the polls. Sometimes it's a surprise album review. Other times it's tier list and a bunch of cool stuff. So if you'd like to, check it out. It's in the description for you guys. And it's really fun making content on there just because, we're kind of delivering to what our fans really want to see from us. And that's always fun. And also, they get to vote on the main episode that we do in the weekly on the channel. So it's always cool to do that too.
Yeah, I know. And On Thin Ice just made a really good comparison. That's done, homie. He's not 20 anymore.
What, for the Cash Cardi?
Yeah.
I guess so.
I think maybe he's matured too much as
I
an
still
artist.
think, to me, it's my favorite Cardi sound. That's why I don't want to see it completely not exist anymore, because that's my favorite style of Cardi. But with Playboy Cardi, you want to see him evolve. It's just that if he doesn't evolve with the next one, then I'll be asking myself questions. You know what I mean? Because he's done that project after project. So why wouldn't he continue that?
I know he's really trying to move into a different direction, but it would be interesting the way he tackles narcissists. Like, am I a fan of maybe the baby voices that are going on or whatever it is? I'm not too sure, but let's actually go into the Pink Tape a bit deeper. Like, where do you think this would rank amongst his discography if you were to drop this and maybe deliver on all these promises? Like, what type of quality of project do you think that Uzi could drop?
Uzi has fire projects. Like, he has
I
a
know.
great trap discography. I mean, look at the Perfect Love tape. Look at Love Is Rage 2. Look at the first Love Is Rage. I mean, there's too many great projects to not count out. So I think that almost anything could top Eternal Take. So, like, if we're setting the bar of, hopefully this is better than EA, like, yeah, obviously, like, I mean, it doesn't take much to top that for me. So
why do you think he said that he only fucks with like 2 out of those like 30 songs? Like what? Like
they weren't good, bro. I mean, the flows.
That sucks though. Like as an artist to have to say that about
the
your
flows
album?
were offbeat. Like the production had some spacey elements to it, but it didn't sound fresh.
Also, the lack of features on a 30-song album and having them all in the deluxe was kind of like.
Yeah, what do you have? You get like one feature, like Sid the Internet or something?
Yeah, like I'm like that's it. Like I'm really not sure about the vibe of that project. Like it low-key gets a bit boring after a while because it almost feels like the same song over and over and over again. So I think that's what he has to do better though. Low-key is being able to diversify his sound while being able to keep it like original and being able to stay true to his craft. Like that was one thing is like I feel as if I wasn't necessarily listening to an Uzi album when I went through Eternal Take. Like other projects you go in and you know exactly what you're listening to, but Eternal Take was missing that vibe. Like it didn't have like that natural essence. Like, and not only that, but it was his most bloated like track list ever.
Yeah, it didn't have like that Uzi banger. It didn't have that nice hit that has a catchy hook or has something that really lives with you, like a song like You Was Right. So a lot of elements missing out of that project. But back to Young Thug's Punk. Do you think that this could be the best trap album that drops this year? Because we have gotten the Melodic Blue. We have gotten, Don Toliver's Life of a Don.
I'm not sure if those are trap though. But that's the thing though, is that like I kind of see people
they kind of go in and out of that bag.
I see that a lot of people are doing that actually. Like a lot of people don't want to make like classic trap albums anymore
That's
because it's kind of like the sound has gotten stale.
Probably will be the same scenario with Punk.
I think it will be. I don't think it's gonna be a full trap album. So if I maybe have to put it in more of like the experimental trap lane, where like Don Toliver was infusing R&B sounds with trap, and then Baby Keem infusing rock with trap as well, and even psychedelic elements as well. I think that it could be in that conversation and probably will be better based on those features that I'd maybe seen. But let's shout out Chandler for using the super chat tonight. Thank you so much. And you said Faces short film in 10. What's your favorite Mac projects? I know we're gonna probably end up watching it after this. But what's my favorite Mac project? I'm either going Swimming, Good AM, or Faces. It's like a 3-way tie. I have each album for a different reason, if you get what I'm trying to say. So how about you? Like, what's your vibe with it?
Yeah, I would definitely go Swimming at number 1. What else is in my rotation? Watching Movies is super underrated.
Watching Movies is so underrated.
Good Morning or Good AM, however you want to call it, is also phenomenal. Divine Feminine is one of his most slept on projects, and I love the funk elements on there on songs like Dang. Like, that's one of the best, funk infused hip hop songs that I've heard in a long time. And I've just loved to see. I've loved seeing, and witnessing the evolution of Mac Miller as an artist throughout his project. And I think that, we've spoken about this before. He has one of the best evolutions that we've ever witnessed out of a hip hop artist.
That is true.
I don't think that's a stretch to say.
No, that's very true. I would say that. Like, his discography definitely deserves a lot of praise and has a lot of major highs. Like, it's almost flawless to a certain extent. So, yeah, I think that there's a lot to look forward to with Faces. It's obviously going to be on streaming, so you guys enjoy that as well tonight. But listen, I gotta say this about Punk. I'm excited. I think that I'm super hyped. We're an hour and a half away. We're getting to the listen. So how many tracks do you want to see on this? Because we don't have the track list. What do you want to see?
I think he said something in an interview where he's like, I made this project very focused, and I think he hinted at either 12, 14, or 16. So based on 2021 streaming era, let's get the most streams possible. I think he's gonna edge out to the 16 point. I think that's what it's gonna be. But personally, I would love like anywhere between 12 to 16. That's a good amount for me.
12 to 16.
What about you?
I think that's the perfect range for him. If I see like a 20 song track list, like, you have to start asking some questions, because there's not a lot of people that are able to do that, and it's very hard to execute. It is very hard to execute. But how much was so much fun? I think it was lengthier like that.
I think it was maybe like 19, maybe.
I think it was one of his longer track lists, actually. Let's go check that out.
19.
Hold on a second. And it
was 19.
It was 19. I'm okay. So he's done it before. What do you think? You think he does it again?
Does what again?
If he's able to carry a track list that long?
He could do it. I mean, there were misses on So Much Fun for me. Like, there were forgettable tracks. So I hope it's not 19 songs. Could he carry it? Probably, but I still want to see less than that.
Okay. So out of everything that we've spoken about tonight, new Uzi, new Drake, the potential for new Travis, and having Thug drop tonight, what are you excited for out of all these subjects? And like, out of the 3 projects that haven't dropped yet, so Dystopia, maybe new Drake material, and let's say the Pink Tape, which one are you excited for the most?
Dystopia for sure, man.
Yeah.
What about you? Same thing?
Yeah, probably Dystopia, 1,000%.
Yeah.
I want to see what a Travis Scott mixtape sounds like in 2021.
For real.
The last time I got
so
one
long.
was 2014 with DBR. I mean, people do consider Birds in the Trap like not maybe like that complete studio album, because it doesn't have like that coherentness of, Astro World or Rodeo, but I still think that it is a studio album. So I'll go DBR like all the way back. But for the most part, I think I'm just super excited, because now, like, after CLB and Donda, the industry's like taking like a bit of a hit, dude. Like, I'm not sure if you've noticed that, but like, there's been a lot of people that have been dropping, but still, like, that peak hype was in the summer this year. Like,
So you feel like it's slowing down right now?
I think it is. I think though that Travis and Kendrick have to come back and pick it back up. I think that's
the thing, like, is that like, if they also drop in 2021, let's say Utopia and Kendrick's new album drops, then what the fuck do we have to look forward to for 2022? Like, that's why I hope that they don't drop, so we can have those huge mega stars also be present next year. So like, I hope it's kind of balanced in that way, but nonetheless, we're also gonna get, every year for hip hop since the genre became a thing has been great.
And how do you feel about all these artists that have teased albums this year but that haven't dropped anything? Example, like maybe like Ab-Soul was supposed to drop this year, A$AP Rocky, Pusha T, like
Playboy Carti,
Conway the Machine too. Like,
I think he's dropping this month.
You think he's dropping this month?
He dropped the lead single Piano Love, so yeah,
probably gonna be this month. Or do you think it goes into 2022?
No. Conway's gonna drop this month for sure.
Okay, at least you have that to look forward to. But for the most part, who's someone you want to hear from this month?
Definitely like A$AP Rocky. I mean, I've said it time and time again. Like, we need his voice again. Like, it's just, his sound is it would be so refreshing in today's climate. So he's one guy I really want to hear from. Do I think we'll get it? No, I think we would have gotten it by this point. So
that's true. I think
it's not too late, but
it's not too late, but it's definitely
also
in the
mix. Forever Story too, man.
That's true. That is very true. Apparently that album's done. Spillagin came out and said it was done. But listen, guys, if you have enjoyed this stream tonight, it's an hour in. We're gonna have to go. We're gonna have to do some new Patreon content for you guys. We have a new Loot album that we're gonna be reviewing tonight. So if you guys want to see that, go to the link in our description. You guys are gonna have access to so many different things from us. So extra videos, say on our polls, everything, and it helps us out a ton. So whoever's a Patreon member in the stream right now, a personal thank you from Lou and I and the whole team.
We really
here.
Appreciate it, guys.
Absolutely. And guys, what could you expect from NFR in the next coming hours? So we're obviously going to be reviewing Young Thug's Punk when it drops at midnight. Should be dropping sometime in the morning. So maybe around 3 a.m. to 4 a.m., whatever time it is. So stay up for that with us. It's always a pleasure doing that type of content. Super excited for the album. And guys, listen, join us next Thursday for another live stream. It's always fun doing these with you guys. Thank you so much for coming in today, and we truly appreciate it. Peace.
Thank you, guys. We appreciate the love.